Good morning. The dogs and I are on a little trip in north central Washington. It's called the Historic Highlands Loop, and we won't be hitting all of the attractions on it, but we are hoping to hit some, including some ghost towns. And we'll take you along. I'm going to spend a couple nights camping out here. We'll cover some more state parks, and it should be a lot of fun. I was originally intending on putting this trip in one movie, but it would be way too long for you to watch, so I've split it into two parts. Let's go explore. We are starting our day with a hike. We're at the Whistler Canyon Trailhead, which is also part of the Pacific Northwest Trail. There's a map of that. Wouldn't that be awesome? So we are not going to do this whole hike. The Whistler Canyon Trail is about 24, I think, miles both ways, round trip that is, and we are the only ones here. It is a Tuesday. It's a beautiful day. We're parked in the trailhead, which is also it allows camping up to 5 days, and there's orchards all around it, and even though it's pretty close to the highway, it's very peaceful. So what we're going to do is this Frog Pond Trail. It's just 2.4 miles, and we all have to watch out for rattlesnakes, watch out for bighorn sheep, and I did see a marmot in the grass, so this should be a lot of fun. And look at these gorgeous stone hills here, big rocky hills. There's our little marmot friend. So cute. Just pause for the beautiful view. Where you saw that truck go by is the road there, Highway 97. There's the parking lot and Drea the van. There's that orchard. And then the river you see out here is the Okanagan River. Beautiful. We're about 0.4 in, and we're gonna make a left to the frog pond. It doesn't look quite as well worn as that, but that's where we're going. So for a short hike, it might be wiser to just do part of the other trail, because this one's just really overgrown and not as well maintained for sure. I was really worried about rattlesnakes hiding in all that brush, but what I should have been worried about was ticks. We ended up with quite a lot of ticks from this hike. When we got underneath the trees, the trail opened up a bit, which is pretty nice. We're still steadily climbing. Here we're in a patch of thimbleberries, all blooming. Well, we have arrived at the quote-unquote frog pond, and this one appears to be at the end of the life cycle of a pond, filled in with sediment. Grass has grown up in it. We're here a little bit later, I guess. We're here towards the end of May. It was a really nice hike, so I'm not sorry, but I wouldn't call it a destination hike. So I'll meet you back up at the car and give you the full rundown. Well, it's turning into a warm day, so I'm glad we got our hike done in the morning. That was about 2.5 miles round trip with an elevation gain of 536 feet. And on we go to the next part of our adventure for the day. The first ghost town I had hoped to check out was Nighthawk, so I crossed this bridge on the Similkameen River to check it out. This one is not on the official map. I'm not gonna walk around town because this is a town that's still lived in. I'd say it's almost a ghost town. This talks about Nighthawk, established in 1899 along the Similkameen. The last store, post office building, and old hotel can still be seen. The town is now private property, so you can't really look around in this town because people own the old buildings, which is kind of a bummer. We're gonna go look at another ghost town next. And this talks about the history. I've come downstream a bit from Nighthawk. This is the Similkameen River behind me. I believe Nighthawk was originally founded due to gold and silver being found in the area, and especially I know gold was because what is once up in the mountains eventually erodes down from the mountains, and then the rivers carry that further down. And my dad used to dredge along the Similkameen. I visited him there once when he was dredging, and there were many people with dredges all over. I don't know if it's still allowed, but I certainly didn't see a single person there today. Our next stop was the old Molson Museum ghost town, but first I was going to check out the Molson Schoolhouse Museum. Molson was founded, not super surprisingly, by the Molsons. They were from Montreal, Quebec. It was a mining and town site venture and boomed in 1900. So peaceful here, lots of birds. It boomed in 1900 and then died in 1901, although the railway came through in 1905, so it built up again. It became the commercial center for the Okanagan Highlands. At its peak, there were 700 people here, and I will let you read more about it. The sign is a little bit faded. You can pause and read. First stop without the dogs was going to be the Molson School Museum. But even though it is open daily, that's only from Memorial Weekend through Labor Day. And I am here just before Memorial Day weekend, so I do not get to see inside. This building was built in 1914. It covered all kids, kindergarten through 12th, 1915 to 1962. And then they started going to Oroville. I'm just gonna walk up here and check it out. I think I read we were like at 3,700 feet here. I tried peeking through the windows, but I was not able to see much. So on we went to the Old Molson Museum ghost town. So interesting, this was Old Molson. It was a thriving mining camp until a farmer claimed the whole town was part of his homestead. So they founded it in 1900. I'm not sure when the disgusted citizens left, but they did and founded New Molson, which was a half-mile north. So everything was moved to New Molson. Its railway station at the time, at 3,708 feet, was the highest in the state. This is Old Molson. I guess they just kind of left it to the farmer who was claiming it as his own. Very interesting. The Walker and Odell Homestead Locators. They got a huge assembly of vintage farm equipment all over here. How cool to have this place all to ourselves today. I think it's worth it. Missing the museum, maybe. I don't know how many people are normally here in the summer. This place is sweet. This was a homestead cabin. Severed to Rise. Let's see if we can peek in here. There's an old dog house. This is where you guys would live. Look. Look in there. See? This is where dogs lived. They lived outside. They didn't sleep in people's beds. Oh, you can go in it. Wow. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, they have it all set up. And this is all people needed back then. An outhouse in back and just a nice room to live in. This is actually kind of roomy compared to some. Like gorgeous wood stove here. Oh, they have wagons here. Just like makes me think of the Carriage Museum. These ones are just kind of out in a shed. Or Daisy Reaper. Looks like this is. Some kind of like a sleigh. Huh. This is an awesome collection. There's a fanning mill. It was used to clean the trash from the grain after threshing. Just gonna kind of do a loop so we don't miss anything. On the front of this one, it says it was the bank. What's inside? Oh my God, so this is so cool. I keep peering through the windows and I can come right in. Look at this machine. This is wild. It has a keyboard and then it has a pedal thing. Assume that went with it, like a piano. Was this like for making newspapers? Intertype. This is a hot metal typesetting machine. It was used by newspapers and publishers. Some pictures from back in the day. Molson Saloon. And there's the old safe. A very, very small town. Just didn't need a huge bank. But it was really nice. Look at the wood and the glass. And the old tile. Look at the ceiling. Wow, this place is really fun. I can't believe you can just walk in and look at stuff. This is how things should be. If people were good and trustworthy. This is the back room of that building. Sounds like birds are nesting in the chimney. Wow. Poland, China, and Molson gold mines, 1896. The assay office. Cool. Whoa, this porch is not long for this world. Oh, neat. Wow, they did a great job on this museum. And look at this furnace. Wow. Back when things were functional art, it's just gorgeous. Why have something that just works when it can work and look good? There's ye old outhouse. They do have a porta potty for people visiting. Old shingle mill. Well, it's hard to imagine anybody could do anything inside this building. It's so small. The lawmen of Molson, of Old Molson. And a Remington made a typewriter. Back when the trees were so big that logging truck couldn't carry more than one or two. Look at the rural mail route in the snow. That's dedication. Sherling family, 1902. So this was a family home. Got the little, like, a enclosed front porch area. Looks like I should have started here. This is where we sign in. This old cabin was built in 1898 by Frank Fontaine, a prospector and blacksmith. In 1902, John and Amanda Sherling and their sons Ernest and Harry moved in. And here they have a map of what we're doing. Yay, because I just took a screen cap. This is great. They've got, you can tear one off. I love this. I'm so happy. We came up this way. Went through Oroville to Nighthawk that way, and then we came this way and we're in Molson. And next we're going to go to Chesaw, and then we're going to spend the night at Bonaparte Lake. And then we're going to do more stuff along this awesome loop. Well, I absolutely love the ghost town of Molson. It was so much fun to just be able to walk around, and it was so quiet out here. Like, there's no car sounds, at least very, very rarely. It's just bird song and these old creaky buildings. This is free to look around, but they accept donations. There's a little donation thing in the building with the register. Super fun. I have another stop, and then we're gonna head to our campground. you can pause to read this whole story. This is a historical site along the highway here. But basically, I didn't think I'd get to see this. This is the Heehee Stone. I'm really sad for the ending of the story, which is where white people came in. Actually, I think she was known as Camas Woman. So this is not the original Heehee Stone or Camas Woman. The stone column that was here originally represented a sacred maiden and story to the native people who lived here, and apparently, possibly under the influence of alcohol, miners dynamited it. So what is here now is a representation of that original sacred site. The Kalispel people gathered up the bits and piled them high, and I'm not sure at what point this new statue was then erected. She was supposed to, hold all the good luck and be able to give it to those people that came to see her, of her tribe. Next, I visited the tiny town of Chesaw, which was founded during the 1896 gold rush. It hosts a 4th of July rodeo. Looks like the original tavern, maybe. And there's a cute dog. And then we're going to go into the Chesaw store, which is for sale. Oh, it will be closing permanently as of May 31st. What a bummer. Well, I talked to the lady in the store, got some junior mints and some juice, and she said they're hoping to keep it open, but it's just not going to be with the current owner. They're trying to sell it, and hopefully the new owner will keep it open. That owner also sold the saloon, so the saloon is staying open for those of you that are coming through and want to drink. All right, now we're just heading for our campground, which should be fun to check out as well. So the lake I've been driving by is Lake Beth. This is the boat launch and picnic area. There we go. And there is a campground here as well. It looks like I have 6 miles to go down this road. It's Forest Service road. Hopefully it's not too bad. Well, I'm in site 28B. It has a fire pit and a picnic table. And actually, I think there might be wetlands behind it. We'll go check out the campsite and behind it first. There's some people's cabins through the woods this way, which is a little odd. Looks like maybe there's a little stream and a beaver lodge through here. Beaver lodge right there. Let's go check this out. We're gonna go down this dirt road to begin with to look at that beaver lodge. Then we'll go back to the lake itself. We had some raindrops earlier, but it looks all pretty now. Nice blue skies. It's not too hot, not too cold. Probably right around 58 degrees, maybe 60 at the most. Okay, here's that water channel I was looking at and the beaver lodge right here. And on the other side of the dirt road, Bonaparte Lake. This is just part of it we're seeing here. And it's a no-wake lake. Oh, loon's nest here. That's awesome. Wow. Now I wish I had my kayak with. So peaceful. Got a day-use picnic area with a little dock. We'll go down and check that out. Here's the swimming area. There's even a platform to swim out to. I think we're just gonna sit here and enjoy the lake for a little bit. This super long bench. then it was time to cook up some dinner. I decided to try something new. I'm going to brown this and then cook it. While it's cooking, I'm going to put the chicken on it and add some teriyaki barbecue and some pineapple. Well, let's see how this turns out. Well, it's looking pretty tasty. Time for the taste test. That's a good combination of flavors.